Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep, page by page, into an absolute classic tale of corruption, courage, and, well, a whole lot of cheese, the brilliant graphic novel Asterix in Switzerland. So here's how our adventure's gonna unfold. We've got 6 parts, starting with a nasty Roman plot and taking us all the way to the top of the snowy Alps. All right, let's get into it. Okay, part 1, a poisonous Roman affair. We kick things off in Condatum, that's modern-day Rennes, where the Roman governor, a guy named Varius Flavus, is living the high life. And I mean, he's throwing away Roman tax money on non-stop parties and just stuffing his face. Now, this cozy little setup is about to be crashed by the arrival of Caius Fatuous. He's this totally by-the-book quaestor sent directly by Caesar to audit the governor's finances. Flavus panics. His solution, he's got to get rid of the auditor. So he throws this huge, decadent party. The air is thick with the smell of rich food and wine, and he plans to slip the guy a deadly poison in all the chaos. And he does it with such fake sincerity, right? Pretending to be a great host, he gives his guest a special dish with just one peculiar little mushroom in it. As Caius Fatuous starts to look really sick, Flavus just feigns total surprise. The poison is slow, it's potent, and it's designed so that no Roman doctor can figure out what it is. So, with Roman medicine completely useless, one of the quaestor's men gets desperate. He smuggles his dying boss to the one place in Gaul famous for miracles. You guessed it, Asterix's village. His only hope now is the druid, Getafix. This is where the real adventure begins, and if you're enjoying this story so far, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button to follow along. All right, on to our next chapter, the quest for the Silver Star. So Getafix takes one look at the quaestor and knows exactly what's wrong. But there's a problem. He's missing one absolutely essential ingredient for the antidote. And, the clock is ticking. Fast! Turns out, the antidote needs a super rare flower called the Silver Star. You might know it as Edelweiss. The catch? It only grows on the highest, most treacherous peaks in Helvetia, or what we now call Switzerland. So the mission is clear. Asterix and Obelix have to get to Helvetia, climb a mountain, find this flower, and get back before it's too late. Part 3, and things are already getting complicated. Obstacles in Helvetia. You see, Governor Flavus isn't stupid. He finds out about the Gauls' plan and sends a message ahead to the local Roman prefect. The orders are simple. Stop them no matter what. So when Asterix and Obelix arrive, every single road and mountain pass is crawling with Romans. So what's interesting here is how they deal with this. The roads are blocked? Fine. They'll swim across the massive, freezing Lake Geneva at night. Totally exhausted, they're lucky to be found by a local innkeeper, a fella named Xerix, who gives them a place to stay. And get this, Xerix also happens to run the local bank. It's described as this super quiet place that smells of polished wood and old parchment. A pretty great jab at Swiss efficiency. Inside the inn, Asterix explains their whole desperate situation. And their Helvetian hosts, who are all about calm, orderly precision, are just baffled by how frantic the Gauls are. This culture clash is a huge source of comedy. The Helvetians, obsessed with cleanliness and punctuality, just cannot wrap their heads around this chaotic life-or-death mission. And now we get to my favorite part, the Great Cheese Chase. Their hideout doesn't stay secret for long, of course. The Romans find them and surround the inn. But this makes the Helvetians angry. It's a breach of their neutrality. So they decide to help our heroes escape, and that's when things get, well, really wild. Their escape is just a work of art. First, Xerix hides them in his super secure bank vault. Then, they basically weaponize the local food, using a giant, bubbling cauldron of cheese fondue to trap an entire Roman legion. And for their grand getaway, they just hop on a boat full of cheerful yodelers. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This moment just perfectly captures the whole vibe of their journey. It's action-packed and totally absurd. The image of armored Roman soldiers flailing around in a lake while a boat of yodelers sails by is just hilarious. All right, we're heading into the mountains for the big finish. And if you want to see how this all plays out, a quick like and subscribe really helps us make more explainers like this. Okay, it's time for the climax at the summit. They've finally ditched the Romans. Now Asterix, Obelix, and their new Helvetian guide begin the last and most dangerous part of their mission, the climb into the high Alps. And the whole tone just changes here. The funny chases are over. Now, it's just them against nature. The air gets thin and sharp. The wind is just howling, The snow is so white it's blinding, and they're scaling these insane cliffs of frozen rock and ice. It's just brutal. At one point, they hit a dead end, a sheer vertical cliff face that seems impossible to climb. So in this incredible moment of teamwork, they form a human chain. Obelisk, with all his strength, acts as the anchor at the top, his fingers digging into the icy ledge, holding the weight of his friends as they hang over this huge drop. And you hear Obelix just yell out, "Hey, don't let me down!" His voice just cuts through the wind, and you could feel the strain and the genuine fear in that moment. It's a perfect reminder of just how high the stakes are. One slip, and it's all over.
But they make it. At the summit, totally exhausted and frozen, Asterix sees it. A little white star-shaped flower growing on a ledge nearby. The silver star. With one last big push, they get it. Against all the odds, they actually have the flower.
And now for the finale. Justice and a banquet. Getting down the mountain is way faster than getting up. They just grab a shield and sled down the slopes at top speed, yelling thanks to their Helvetian friends as they race for home. They get back to the village just in the nick of time. Getafix brews the antidote, and boom, Caius Fatuous is back to full health. And he's not just a survivor anymore. He's a witness, and he is ready to bring down the full force of Roman law on Governor Flavus. So, in the end, everybody gets what they deserve. Flavus is arrested and gets a pretty humiliating punishment, cleaning the Circus Maximus in Rome. Caius Fatuous gets to finish his audit, exposing everything, and their Helvetian friend Zurix gets a special thank you gift from the village, one of the first cuckoo clocks, which is pretty perfect for a guy obsessed with time. And of course, you know how every Asterix adventure has to end, with a massive feast. The whole village gets together under the stars to celebrate their friend's return and their victory over corruption. It's the perfect end to a wild ride. You know, the story really leaves you with a big question. When you're up against overwhelming force and corruption, can a few brave people really change anything? This tale seems to suggest that, yeah, they absolutely can. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.